Have you ever posted a comment, shared a story, or expressed your opinion online? Today, we can share our thoughts with people around the world in seconds. But have you ever wondered where this freedom comes from? To understand freedom of speech in the digital era, we first need to look back at how the idea of free speech began. Before we talk about social media, tweets, and online expression, we need to go back a few centuries. The idea of free speech didn't begin with the internet. It emerged during a period called the Enlightenment in the 17th and 18th centuries, when thinkers began challenging the idea that governments and religious authorities should control what people could say or believe. Philosophers like John Locke argued that individuals have natural rights, including the freedom to express their thoughts and opinions. Later, these ideas influenced major democratic movements and documents, such as the First Amendment of the United States Constitution, which protects freedom of speech. At the time, free speech mainly meant the right to criticize those in power without fear of punishment. But communication was still limited to books, newspapers, and public speeches. Over time, new technologies transformed how people shared ideas. From the printing press to radio and television, each innovation expanded the reach of public expression. And then came the internet, a technology that changed free speech forever, giving billions of people the ability to speak, share, and connect instantly across the world.
Think about the last time you shared an opinion online. A tweet, a comment, a story. Now, imagine doing that in a world where only a handful of newspapers and television stations controlled every single message the public could hear. The world is not so far in the past. Today, with over 5.24 billion social media users globally, nearly 64% of the entire world population, the internet has fundamentally altered who gets to speak and who gets to be heard. So what does that mean for freedom of expressions in the digital age? Digital platforms have made public participation more accessible than at any point in history. Consider the Arab Spring. In the week before Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak stepped down, the number of tweets about political change jumped from roughly 2,300 per day to 230,000, and protest-related videos on YouTube received millions of views. Ordinary citizens became journalists, and local grievances became global causes. Protesters filmed themselves chanting at demonstrations, voicing their demands, and capturing unfiltered footage of injustices, broadcasting it to the world on platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. This brings us to the people who shape the boundaries of online speech. The government are deeply involved, and not always in the ways to protect the citizens. Often around election periods, in at least 56 countries worldwide. According to the Freedom House's Freedom on the Net 2024 report, global internet freedom declined for the 14th consecutive year, with government in at least 25 of the 72 countries studied cutting off internet access, restricting social media platforms, or blocking websites hosting political, social, and religious content.
Free speech online also comes with several challenges. Free speech online can cause misinformation and disinformation. False information can spread rapidly through social media, influencing public opinion and sometimes causing confusion or panic. Unlike traditional media, online information is often shared without checking the facts first. Another challenge is hate speech and online harassment. While freedom of expression is an important right, certain forms of speech can target individuals or groups based on their identity and create harmful environments. Cyberbullying, in particular, has become a serious issue, especially among young people. Content moderation and censorship. Social media platforms often remove content that violates their policies. However, this raises an important question. Who should decide what can or cannot be said online? Some people argue that moderation protects users from harmful content, while others believe it limits freedom of expression. These challenges show that free speech in the digital era is more complex than ever before. The goal is not only to protect freedom of expression, but also to ensure that online spaces remain safe, respectful, and reliable. Another important challenge is echo chambers and algorithmic bias. Social media algorithms often show users content similar to what they already like or agree with. As a result, people may be exposed only to opinions that support their existing beliefs while rarely encountering different perspectives. This can increase polarization in society and limit open and constructive discussion. The digital age has expanded our ability to speak freely, but it has also created new responsibilities. As users of digital platforms, we must use our freedom wisely and critically evaluate the information we encounter online.
We live in a world where anyone can say anything to anyone at any time. A single post can reach millions of people within hours, and on the surface, that sounds incredible, like the ultimate form of human freedom. But here's the question we don't ask enough. Just because we can say something, does that mean we should? Think about what we see every day online: misinformation that convinces people to reject life-saving medicine, hate speech that makes entire communities feel unsafe, viral content that destroys someone's reputation overnight, sometimes based on something completely taken out of context, all of it justified under the banner of free speech. This is where the real conversation begins. John Stuart Mill, one of the most influential thinkers of the modern era, believed deeply in freedom of expression. He saw it as the engine of truth, because when ideas compete openly, the best ones rise to the top. But even Mill drew a line. He introduced what we now call the harm principle. The idea that your freedom to speak ends the moment it starts causing harm to others. Not discomfort, not disagreement, but real, tangible harm. That principle, written in the 19th century, feels more urgent now than ever, because the digital age didn't just give us more freedom, it gave us more power, and power without responsibility is dangerous. Platforms like Instagram, YouTube, and X are constantly caught between protecting free speech and preventing real damage. And honestly, there is no perfect answer on there and either. But the truth is, this responsibility doesn't start with governments or tech companies. It starts with us. Every time we share, post, or comment, we're making a choice about what kind of world we want to contribute to. Balancing freedom and responsibility isn't about silencing voices. It's about understanding that words carry weight, that what we say online doesn't disappear into a void. It lands somewhere on someone, and it matters. A truly free society is a one where people can say anything without consequence. It's one where people are wise enough to know the real freedom comes with courage to be accountable for it.